Welcome back to Just Crafting Around. My name is Kelly Brandner, and we are getting close to the 4th of July, so we are going to make some 4th of July things. We are going to be using jars, the Ball Perfect Mason jars, and we're going to be using the small ones. What we're going to do is we're going to turn these into luminaires. So what you need is, for this project, we are going to need 3 jars. We are going to need some paint, red, white, and blue, of course. I used some tape, painter's tape, and what kind I got was the frog tape, so we can paint. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what we did with painting the stripes. You are going to need a good brush, a smaller brush, because we're going to hand paint the white after we peel off the tape. You are going to need, of course, a scissor, however you're going to decorate them. I've got some twine here. I picked up some stars for 2 of them for $1, so we're going to use these to decorate a little bit. And then, of course, we bought some tea lights, and these tea lights are what we're going to use for the luminaring part of it once the sun goes down. Okay, so first off, we bought 3 of the jars. We're also going to need some sandpaper because I did rough them up. Okay. Bought 3 of the jars because I want this to be the blue, the white, the stripes, and then this one to be the stripes as well. Now I went and I decided to use chalk paint instead of the other paint that we've been using. So what I did was I found some stars and I glued them onto here, and then I painted. Once the paint was done, I took off the stars, and then I took some sandpaper and I roughed it up a little bit so that the light can shine through once you put the tea light in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is I cleaned the jars. I washed them really good with hot soapy water. I am going to take the red paint because that's the paint that I'm going to use first. I also bought some round circles, and these are just plain stickers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them around here. There's no certain pattern or anything like that. It's just so that there are some spots that are left so that the light can come through once the tea lights are on at night. So I'm just going to pull off some of these stickers and I'm just going to stick them around. And like I said, it's just random. There's nothing to this. I just kind of, when I get done, I look around and see where I can maybe put another sticker. Now when you pull these off, you're going to have to clean it up a little bit because some of the paint does get underneath it. And that's as well as when you pull off this tape, because the paint seeps through on some of the tape. I tried to, when I did put the tape on there, I pressed it down as good as I can, but it seems like paint still comes through. Continue to put this on, make some different circles here, and you can use anything that you want. You can find any size stickers that you'd like, and of course, like I said, we are going to distress it, so some of the stickers, some of the circles that were on here actually got a little bit bigger, but that's okay. And probably one more on this side over here. Now when you paint these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint, this one isn't sticky. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the first section and then I'm going to let it set overnight. I like to give it time to just kind of let it soak in a little bit. So once this is dry, we're going to go on to a different project and we'll just let this part of it dry. For some reason, the bottom of this not very good. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're going to shake up our red paint. And again, this is chalk paint. There are a lot of places that have chalk paint now. It's just not the craft stores anymore. I've noticed that in, of course, the craft section now in Target has chalk, that's where I actually got this chalk paint from. This one and the blue one I purchased at Target. This is navy. This one, the closest that I could get to the red is cranberry, is what this one is called. You can tell it's got a little pink hue to it. And of course, I always, always, always have my wax paper on my table because I'm messy. I purchased some of these little bowls at the local grocery store. It just works out nice to put a little bit of paint in here, the paint that you're going to need, and then get your brush in here. Okay. And like I said, this does not have to be perfect because we are going to rough it up anyway. The paint did bleed through the stickers as well, so. Plus, if there's a place where you really don't want it, you can take it off very easily with your fingernail. It comes off. If you notice, I've started to wear an apron, but that's just because I'm messy. I go right over the top of the tape, and I go right over the top of the sticker. Put my hand in the jar. Where we get a lot of our ideas for here on the show is Pinterest. I don't know if a lot of you know about Pinterest. When I get an idea, my husband gets a little nervous and he'll ask me if I saw it on Pinterest. So you can find a lot of crafting ideas, a lot of things that you want to do, you can find them on Pinterest. And that is www.pinterest.com. Now you set up an account and you can surf away. They do have several good ideas. They have a lot of free things, a lot of free patterns. If you do any kind of crocheting or sewing or knitting or crafting, there's a lot of places there that will give you free templates and free things that you can actually print off, step-by-step instructions. And a lot of times too, if they have a YouTube to where they can show the video, they actually have the link there as well that you can go to their video. So don't be afraid if you're looking for something specific that you want to do. Just go to Pinterest.com and take a look at that if you haven't already been there. Okay, now as you can see, I've covered everything. I've covered the tape. I've covered everything. And like I said, don't be afraid that you got some paint where you probably didn't want to paint. Don't be afraid of that because, like I said, when it dries, you can take your fingernail or you can take an emery board like this here and you can just scrape it right off. So don't be afraid to do anything like that. We are going to take some time right now. We are going to let this dry. We will be back and I'll show you how to finish it off.
Valley Smart Solutions are now available for your farm, home, and business. Sign up this month and receive 10% off of surveillance cameras and your first month of off-site storage for free. Call Valley today for your free customized quote at 437-2615.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
We are going to go on to our second project now for the 4th of July. And what we're going to do is we're going to do just a plain and simple can project. And with the cans, we're going to do red, white, and blue. And we are going to keep our knives. For our party, we're going to keep our forks, our knives, and our spoons in them. I already took the liberty of spray painting them when it was nice outside. And what you do is you just take a regular can, of course, empty the contents, wash the can out good, and once you've got the can washed out, if there's any kind of a lip here that is sticking up, or when you pop the can lids, sometimes there's a lip there. What I did was I took one of these here tools and I went along and I pushed all that down so that when if somebody would reach into the can, that they wouldn't get cut. Then if there was something that was sticking out, I also took that and I used this here tool and got that out as well. So we're going to start this project, and what I'm going to do is I found the red spray and the navy spray. What I suggest that you do is go to your local people first and see what they have. You'd probably be surprised the products and stuff that you can pick up locally before going out of town and picking up your project stuff. Okay, we're taking a simple can. What we did was we spray painted. What we're going to do is burlap is kind of going to be the theme here to decorate. So that we're going to take some burlap, and this time we want to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to cut a strip of burlap from this fabric. Again, just eyeballing it. And by no means perfect. And I can see this is going to have to be a little bit longer because that's not fitting in there quite right. So let's try this again. And you can pretty much so use anything again that you have laying around the house. I've got some wooden letters here, and these I picked up. You can also order offline. I ordered those, or I picked those up at Joann's Fabrics or Hobby Lobby. I paid $2 for a big bag of them. A lot of times those craft stores will have sales. You can download their app, and on the app they give you certain percentages off for like maybe one single item or for your purchase of the day. But like I said, please check out your local people first and see if they have anything like that available. Okay, I can see I don't want it any longer than this right here. So I'm going to cut it right about there. Now I like to fray this a little bit, like you can see right here on the ends. I frayed it on the bottom and on both sides. So what I'm going to do is, beans this is the material, I'm going to cut this a little more squared off. I am going to pull some of this thread out. I'm going to pull a couple pieces out here. I'm going to pull a couple pieces from here. As you can see, once you get started, sometimes it's more than one piece. And a couple pieces from up on top here. And then once I'm done pulling, you can still go along. If you get it too long, you can still go along the side and you can cut so that it looks more even. And then again, you don't have to. You can leave it just as it is. I'm a little more particular than that. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut along, because now this side is actually longer than it is up on top. And so is this side. So I'm just going to trim the edges a little bit. I've got my glue gun plugged in so that it gets good and hot, because we're going to have to hot glue this on. But before we do that, what we're going to do is we are going to take some red, white, and blue paint. And we're going to take this small round, it's rounded on this side, stomper they're calling it, and we're just going to go like this and dot it around. So we're going to make red, white, and blue dots. I'm going to take the red first. Need a little bit more than that. There we go. We're just going to dot. Have to dot it and hold it down a little bit. Doesn't take very long to dry either. That's what's nice about chalk paint. It doesn't take very long to dry. Want to leave some room because we do have blue and white left. Should have left just a few more spaces here. And one more a time. We're going to do that. It's good to have more than one of these on hand. Especially beans, you are using 3 different colors, then you don't have to be washing them out all the time. And these are they're very cost efficient to have those. Okay, now we're going to take some blue. We're going to dot a little bit of the blue around here. It's going to turn out really, really nice. This blue, this navy is a pretty blue, as well as the cranberry. And we're going to go way towards the end here. Okay, now it's time for the white. Like I said, cheap, inefficient, and again, it's what you have around your house. And if you do any kind of crafting, you probably have paint that you can use. I like the 4th of July. I like that it brings the picnics, the different kinds of picnics, friends, family, get-togethers. I like that. Plus, I like the food. I think that's my favorite part, is the food. Plus, the Harriet Fire Department put on a very, very nice fireworks display every year. Okay, let's see, what am I missing here? I think I need to have something white up here yet. There we go. And I'm going to let this dry over to the side here now. And here is our dotted burlap. Okay, now staying with the red, white, and blue theme. That's going to go on this one. This one here, we are going to take and we're going to put the words USA. Now these letters are made out of wood, and like I said, I did purchase those at Hobby Lobby. You can purchase them online at Hobby Lobby. You can purchase them online at Joann's Fabrics. If you don't get out of town and you're not able to get that kind of stuff, probably some of you are wondering, if you've watched the show before, is she going to distress this stuff? No, she is not. This is probably the first project I've done that I haven't distressed stuff. But I like the vintage look. I like the shabby chic look. I was born in the 60s. And I don't remember it much, but I think I should have been born later on in life, because I really do like the stuff. I like the antiques, I like the older stuff, the older looking clothes, just everything about the era I like. Okay, that takes care of our white. It's a shame to get all these brushes dirty when you're only using a little bit of it. And once we're done here, we're going to go back to our burlap again. We want to cut a piece of that. We want to fray it a little bit. And then we want to put on the USA, and then we want to make sure and line it up good with our can. And we are going to use, to tack everything on, we are going to use our glue gun, our hot glue gun. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I use my hot glue gun, I seem to always burn my fingers. No matter what I'm doing. never fail. This A is probably one of the harder letters to get painted here. We're almost done. This is just a simple and easy decoration that you can have for your 4th of July party and not have so much money invested in it. And like I said, everybody's tastes are different on how you want to decorate it. Get this painted up and then on to the next project. And by that time the burlap should be dry for our polka dot for us to put on the red can. And then we'll let this dry, and by the time we're done with the red can, this will be ready. That's one nice thing about chalk paint. It does not take very long to dry. That's what I like about the chalk paint. Plus it's workable. Very, very workable paint. And now the chalk paint comes in so many different colors. When I was looking at chalk paint, it was just your basic colors, but now it comes in so many different colors, and so many people, so many different companies are making it now as well. Okay. And now we're going to set that to the side and let that dry. We have a lot of projects that are drying right now. And I'm going to take a piece of towel and just wet my hands a little bit. And we're going to take hot glue this around here. We're going to put, what we're going to do, we want to make sure that it's up high enough and pretty much right in the middle. So what we're going to do is take our hot glue gun. We know where we want it to go. And we're going to glue a few of the spots. And then we're going to come back and we're going to lay the burlap over the top of it. I find it's easier than actually putting on the burlap itself. So we're going to hot glue. We know it's about an inch or so. So here we go. Make sure that you have enough. And of course you have to go fast because it only takes so long and this will dry. So we don't want to wait too long before we put the burlap on. Plus you can go back and actually add some hot glue too, as you see fit. So now I'm going to start on one end. I'm going to go to the other. Like I said, you've got to do this somewhat fast before the hot glue actually dries. Press it down in the spots where it's at. Have a little time so that you can maneuver it a little bit, just in case you have to bring it up or bring it down a little. See how that looks. Looks pretty good. Actually going to cut this off a little bit. So I want it to butt up a little bit better against the can. There we go. eyeball it so it goes down a little bit. This goes over the top. So I'm going to add, like I said, a few more glue spots. Glue that down and make sure it's tight. And now we'll do the same with this. Put some glue in the back. Out. Like I said, that glue gun is just not forgiving. And
Valley's Mobile Command Center is coming to a town near you. Stop in at Valley's Mobile Command Center to learn more about our services, see and test some of our products, ask questions, or just to visit with us. Make sure to check your newsletter for specific dates and times when we will be rolling into your town.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
we're going to now put some raffia ribbon on the can just to give it a little bit more decoration. I usually use 3 to 4 strands. Just adds a little something to the can. It takes away if you've got any imperfections or anything like that. This will help that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to wrap it around a couple times, and then I'm going to tie it in the back. It is, of course, a lot simpler if you have somebody else helping you. Let's try this again. Find out where my backing is. Hold on to the can. String it this way, and string it this way, and I'm going to tie her in the front. We're going to tie a knot. Once we get the knot tied, we can move this up. And then we're going to make it into a bow. And then any of the extra that's hanging off at that time, that's when we're going to take our scissor and cut it off. You can adjust it to the way you like it. If you like a lot hanging down, you can use a lot of it hanging down, or you can have less hanging down, smaller bow, bigger bow. It's all what you like. And again, this isn't rocket science, it's just what you like. You can also add, if you want, a little bit of hot glue to keep this on, but I think this will be just fine. There we go. You can put spoons in that one. And now we are going to, it looks like our USA is done. Has dried. So now what we're going to do is we are going to cut. We're going to look at this a little bit because we need it a little bit longer than what we did this one. This one we elected to put a couple stars on, but our USA is just a little bit more. We've got 3 instead of 2. Let's see. I'm going to kind of lay this out and see what we can do. What I'm going to do is, this looks pretty good actually. I'm going to take a knife for a scissor here. We'll cut this off, and now we'll see what it looks like on the can. If we need to, yep, we're going to need to squeeze the numbers together, or the letters together more. So we're going to have to get them up there. So I'm just going to take 2 strands of fabric off of here, and the sides are already, so I'm just going to take 1 strand out of the side, and that should be fine for this to be frayed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these out, and I am going to hot glue them on first before we do anything else. Just going to put a little dab. Scared now of getting burned again. Put a little dab there. And try to get it in the middle and get it up on top as close as I can. Strings. Once you've got this on, if you want to repaint, you've got to be careful, but you can repaint it again. Put a little bit of glue and 3 spots on here. So we've got USA. Oops. I want to butt them up as close as possible because we do not have that kind of room on the can. I'm going to put another little piece of glue right on here so that it lays down good. There we go. Much better. Much happier with that now. And the A right there. It's going to look really nice when it's done. Couple of glue dots. Got so much glue on my hand now. Everything is gluing to it. And a little dot there. There we go. Now, gently and strategically place it on there. It down, we're just going to let it go for just a second or two. Try to take some of the glue off my fingers. We'll take this can. Gonna see where we can put it the best, and that looks pretty perfect to me. Again, I'm going to put some on here and see if that works a little bit better. Like I said, if you miss a spot and you see that you got to put some more on, you can always do that towards once you have it up there. So here's the spot I want to put it. Need to press it down. You already see a spot that it's going to need a little bit of glue. Try to get it as close as you can. You can see a spot right here that stands out, so I'm going to get a little glue in there and quickly press it down. One more spot that I'm not happy with, right in here for some reason. Wants to buckle a little bit, so we're going to give it a little bit more hot glue. There we go. Much, much better. Much better. Now, a little bit of raffia ribbon. really get myself tangled up in some of this stuff. If you like crafting and you'd like to be on the show, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to have you. We're going to be covering up the U a little bit. That's all right. So what we're going to do is take the raffia, hold the can with one hand and wrap it, and hold the can with the other hand and wrap it. You can get it down on the table. And we're going to tie the bow in the front. Like I said, we may cover a little bit of the U, but that's okay. Don't have much to hang down here, so we're going to make this one just a little bit shorter than the other one. Sometimes you have to bend around on this stuff a little bit, or put it a little bit different way, or it's not always so user-friendly. So we have this, we have this one, and now we have this one. So we've got our blue, our red, and our white utensil holders.
Valley Telecommunications is pleased to announce that our Technology Solutions Center is fully stocked and open for business. We have a large selection to meet your wants and needs. Some of the items we currently carry are a variety of corded and cordless phones, different brands of tablets such as Kindle Fires and Apple iPads and all the accessories for them, Telekin computers, Epson and HP printers and ink cartridges, Apple iPods and accessories, office supplies, wireless keyboards and mice, cellular phones and accessories, different types of media storage, cameras, headphones, power strips and surge protectors, and much, much more. You can also get your very own Valley swag. Our prices are reasonable and comparable to any other retail store. If there is something that you want or need that we do not currently carry, please let us know so that we can check into it for you. We accept all major credit cards, cash or check. Please feel free to stop by our office and check out our new and improved store for all of your technology and day-to-day business needs.
Okay, our jar is dry. I'm going to take a piece of medium sandpaper and I'm going to sand off some spots here that I want. There is no rhyme or reason to this either. I just want it to look distressed. And I don't want the paint to look so dark. So I'm going to take off a little bit of the paint all the way around. I'm just going to sand it a little. Whatever comes off, comes off. I try to sand a little bit harder for sure by the parts that stick up. The places that stick up on here is what I really like to get and sand down a little bit more. And then on the bottom as well. So remember, we're going to put tea lights in here, so I want them to show off, or show so that you can see them pretty good. Go up around here. You're going to want to wipe these off with just a dry rag once you're done. And I want to get up here. wipe that off. Thank you, Lisa. We'll wipe it off and take a look at it and see if there's any more places that we think we need to sand a little bit. Kind of want this to look the same like this. Might have to work on this a little bit more. Because like I said, I really do want it to have that weathered look. Some of the spots that I saw that I really went over with the paint, I can take my sandpaper and kind of sand that down a little bit. And it looks like I never did it. There. I think this looks pretty close. Let's see if my lines, yep, my lines look pretty good. Okay, now the last little touches that we're going to do to these. Make sure everything is wiped off good. We do have those dollar stars that we purchased. We're going to put one around this blue. And we're going to put it the tea lights. I'm going to turn off the lights and see how it looks. Like this, that probably would be better. Okay, now we'll take one of these. I need to cut it here. I don't think it's. Yeah, let's put that in the front. Probably going to need a little bit longer cord. Yep, I sure will. He didn't give me enough give here. I'll take this one out. Now sometimes you can find some pretty good buys if you take your time and you just walk around. Like I said, for this metal star, these two metal stars, it was $1. Well, you don't get much for 50 cents anymore these days. I'm going to have to cut a little bit longer one here. Same way with the twine. You get all this twine for $2.99. Okay. I'm going to put this and try to get it close to the middle. That look about right? She always wants to go this way, huh? Okay, put a knot in here. And we'll see where it's falling and see if we need to do anything else here with it. Probably have it come up just a little bit more. This was a little bit thicker than what the other rope that was on there. There. Now, fix it, put it in its place. Okay. You can use these for utensil holders, and then at night you can take and put in some tea lights. going to turn the lights off so that you can see them real good. In fact, if you want to get the effect, you could almost put in 2 of the tea lights. And there you have it. You have luminaires for the 4th of July. Be sure and come back for the next episode of Just Crafting Around.